Hi and welcome to Look Ahead with Anna. This week is a little bit different. We've hit the mid part of the year, and so I've decided to look back and just do a review of the top stories, themes and trends that I've seen coming out the first 6 months of this year. So here goes. There is an organisation called Wonderman and Thompson who do 100 different themes across all industries, and they're almost a prediction or a forecast of what's coming in the year. And for 2023, there were 3 forecasts that were all in line with the business events industry. But the one that really piqued my interest was the one about temperate travel. So generally, particularly the leisure industry for tourism has found the peak times are June to August. But now lately, over the last few years, we've seen some real catastrophes in the climate side of things over those months, particularly obviously in Europe, with a lot of hot summers, dry, we've seen droughts, we've seen fires, some flooding. And so now it's looking at how are our leisure travel months going to be changing and maybe sort of going into more temperate months. So what does that mean for our business events industry? We've always used those shoulder seasons or those less busy times to be able to get good rates for hotels, to be able to find people have time to travel to events. So I'm wondering what this is going to mean for us. So that's one for you to have on your radar for the look ahead in our industry. Number 2's article this week was from Travel Tomorrow, and it was really interesting because it brought up the subject of Bleisure, that travel and leisure blending together, which is not new, but it did bring me a question to my mind as travellers are now deciding which events they go to and often combining a leisure trip with them. They're going to be spending longer where their destination is, and they're looking at rental suites, they're looking at accommodation that will have laundry or other facilities to allow them to stay longer to experience the destination. So what does that mean for room blocks and how the business events industry approaches this need? So Visit Britain partnered up with Meet for Impact last year to produce the Legacy Toolkit. It's a brilliant downloadable free resource packed full of practical ways to be able to implement legacy into event planning. I'm already starting to see the ripple effects. ACC Liverpool are hosting an event with Diabetes UK this year and have launched their own Legacy Toolkit, which they'll be using to help get the message from that conference out wide into their community. They'll be working alongside some ambassadors from Club Liverpool and really raising awareness of the condition. And they'll be taking the information that's learnt in the conference to the outside community in and around Liverpool to really help with the understandings of the health implications of diabetes. So as we see legacy spreading, there's a huge amount of case studies out there really giving us some inspiration as to what we can do with our events moving forward. A report out by Freeman, the AV company, has found that there's been the most dramatic change in delegate demographics in 3 decades. All of a sudden, we have millennials as our main audience, closely followed by Gen X. These audiences are very different in what they're looking at, and although they're taking the leadership baton from the baby boomers, they're not willing to be captive in a meeting room such as the last generation of attendees. They need to be captivated by whatever the event is presenting. And if that means going online instead of in person because it's something unique they can't get anywhere else, they'll do it. So let's start thinking about how these demographic changes will make an impression on our industry and what do we need to do to be looking for those opportunities to impress and captivate. This week there's some insights in from an ICA survey talking to associations and finding out how their worlds are changing now that they're moving back to more in-person meetings. The first thing is 51% of respondents have said that they still need their main financial income to come from their annual events, but they are now trying to look at other streams as well to balance out what they need to bring in. Also, 91% of respondents have either changed or are in the process of changing their RFPs to include digital and hybrid event options, to look at sustainability, and to also look at legacy of their events. So changes are coming, and we as DMOs need to be ready for that. I hope you enjoyed part 1 on the future trends and what we've seen over the last 6 months. Part 2 is on its way, so please stay tuned. It's going to be all about the themes that we heard on people and planet. See you soon.